Peter.
Yeah, please permit me a brief remark and a brief question. Remark in response to the fine lady on my right and also the fellow who asked a transportation question up the back. Regarding both those questions, Manchester and Nashua, those are basically interstate issues in nature, and therefore
Peter,
they're not avoidable as not federal.
I know that you're running for office, and I appreciate that. But as somebody standing here as a congresswoman, I really have to address just the national issues. But if you have a question, I'd love to.
Yeah, the question is, how do you jibe the appearance that you're providing of working across party lines to solve red, white, and blue problems, not red or not blue, with your voting record, which shows, and I could be wrong because it's not completely up to date, the statistics I last saw show you vote 97% with your party and 99% with Speaker Pelosi. How do you jibe those two, the image and the reality?
I'm going to repeat that question so people hear that. He said to me, if I'm talking about having a bipartisan answer for some of these problems, how do I explain my voting record? And he said 97% with the party, and it's actually 98%. And my voting with Nancy Pelosi. Well, first of all, Peter, Nancy Pelosi doesn't vote. So she's the Speaker of the House, and she's had very few votes. She
I know,
doesn't vote,
with her position.
But that's important to know, that she does not vote. And my voting with Nancy Pelosi. Well, first of all, Peter, Nancy Pelosi doesn't vote. So she's the Speaker of the House, and she's had very few votes. She doesn't vote,
with her position.
But that's important to know, that she does not vote. The second part of that is, when I campaigned, I said to people, I was running, I come from a Republican family, I'm a Democrat from a Republican family, and I said, you know, you had to learn to get along because they could lock the door at night. And what I was trying to say was I respected everybody. I respect your political party, I respect your beliefs. I didn't run on that. What I am talking about here is working for average Americans, period. And they come in red, white, and blue, they come as Republicans, they come as independents. I should not be here if I only represent Democrats. That would be wrong. I represent everybody. But I believe that what I talked about and what I promised is also what's happening right now. I said that I was going to work to lift the minimum wage, and we did. And I said I was going to vote for health care programs, and we have. And I said I would vote for the environment. And people in New Hampshire said, yeah, that sounds good. So I made these commitments to Republicans and independents and Democrats. And I have gone there, and when the legislation has been about all of you, then I have voted that. And that legislation, I think, has been for the middle class. And that's why I have voted yes. But I have voted against my own party for some votes, like the Free Trade Agreement. I voted against it for FISA, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. Ultimately, they came to the position where some of us were from the beginning. And I want to talk about that FISA vote for a moment. FISA is the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, and we've had that around since the 1970s, and we need it. And the issue that you saw, people fighting over in Congress, had to do with, can we protect our nation and listen to phone calls and make sure we get the intelligence we need and protect our Constitution at the same time? And I absolutely believe that's possible. We have faced terrible times and challenges from the beginning of our country, and we have protected our rights while we have protected our security. And all I wanted to see in that FISA was what already existed, which is that foreign phone calls can be listened to any time without a warrant. Anytime. Conversations can be listened in on any time between an American and a foreigner, or even between Americans, if they believe, if the government believes that it's essential to our safety. They don't have to have a warrant right away. They do not have to go for a warrant. They can listen in. What they have to do, though, is they have to have a secret court review it. Secret private court review it within 72 hours or sometimes within 10 days. That's it.
What was the question
Who wants to give up
again?
the role of the judicial branch? Anybody want to give up the role of the judicial branch? I don't.
I call Pakistan. What's to
Okay,
prevent me
thank you.
from being monitored?
So here's the deal. Again, FISA still exists. It did not go dark. Okay, they can listen any phone call between foreign and foreigner, anytime, anywhere without a warrant. But if they listen to an American conversation, a FISA court, a top secret court, has to review to make sure that they had a reason to do that. Now, is it hard to get permission? It is not. It's been done thousands and thousands of times, something like 35,000 times, and only 5 were denied. So all it does is just say, we're going to make sure that your rights are protected. We're going to listen in on you. If we think that you are up to something and we need to capture that call right now or we'll lose it, they're going to do it. But they're going to have to say to a court, we had to do this. And I think that's exactly what our forefathers intended, that we would have a court to always protect our rights. So that was another time that I stood up and said, no, we can do both simultaneously. But my voting record, I'm very proud of, because every single time I've had to take a vote, I haven't said to myself, who does this benefit in terms of party? I said to myself, who does this benefit in terms of people? And when I vote for education, I'm voting for people. And when I vote for health care, I'm voting for people. And when I'm voting for money for the environment, I'm voting for people. And when we put money into jobs, I'm voting for people. Now, we can all disagree, and of course we do. And that's why I urge you to go and take a look. You should look at how all of us who represent you vote. And I put it on the website so that you can go look. Because I think an informed American public is the very best protection we have. So, please have a look. But I don't feel like I have to apologize for standing up for the average man and woman in this country and in New Hampshire. Sums it up.